to change pianos. This piano is like really annoying. Okay guys, so I hope you've enjoyed some of my playing streams. You saw I have the same issue with the center pins coming out, especially on this B flat. And also on this note, you hear how buzzy it is. There's just so many little issues. The hammers need a lot of work. This piano sounded completely different 10 years ago. So I want to talk about these real quick. If you guys have not seen these are Snyder's rounds, and they come in two flavors, butter and sea salt. Now, this is part of my grocery haul. I saw that they had these, this was a month ago. I saved this last bag until a couple days ago because I knew how rare these were, okay? They had them for 99 cents for a bag. I bought 3 of them because I was like, buying any more than that, I just feel like a fatty. Like, it's just too much junk food for me. So I was like, 3 bags, okay. And I was going to be like, I hope they taste good too, because if they didn't taste good, I'd have 3 bags of nothing. Anyways, this is a 12-ounce bag, and this is all they come in. I guess they also came in a 3.5-ounce bag, okay? 12 and 3.5-ounce bag. I got this for 99 cents, okay? I went back a week later, and Grocery Outlet upped it to $2.99, okay? And then they sold out. Now I went on Amazon because I wanted to see people's reviews about these on Amazon. These are selling for like $20 a bag, guys. I'm not lying. The lowest you can find them is $15 a bag, including the shipping. So if you have Amazon Prime, whatever, you're gonna pay less. You'll pay like $12, but still $12 a bag. And you look on the bottom, it's pretty much coming out. It's like 97 cents an ounce, pretty much $1 per ounce. And so, anyways, this is the last that I have with them. And they taste really good with milk. I don't know. I like them with whole milk. And they really do taste buttery. These are legitimately really buttery flavor. So if you guys know, like, again, so food sciences and stuff was part of my major and classes and stuff. Now, there's a whole way to reading this, and just what I want to say about this real quick is on the very bottom here. So the ingredients are listed by weight and by amount. Most people know that, but a lot of people don't know that. So way down here in the very bottom, it just says natural flavor, and then soda. So soda is the least ingredient, but natural flavor, that is kind of like a catch-all like word. Natural flavor can mean anything, and essentially what it means is they don't have to declare what it is that they're putting in there. It can be a trade secret or whatever. There's all these litigations and stuff around it, but anyways, that's what I'm trying to say, is that natural flavor is something that they're not telling you what it is. So even though this doesn't have MSG in here, it has natural flavors, which you're never going to know what it is. Anyways, I'm eating it. I'm still alive. And now I really don't want it. So I wanted to talk about these. They say light and crispy too. When I first bought these, I was expecting an actual pretzel crunch. Like if you've eaten the Snyder's, they have the hot wings flavor, like a hot mustard flavor, and then like a ranch. You know what I'm talking about? Those bites, and those things are really hard. I mean, I feel like, excuse me, they're gonna break my teeth. That they're only second to Takis, and that is a chip I extremely dislike. I will talk about that chip in another stream. But I mean, of course I've tried them, but I only tried them once. I was like, never eat this shit again. And every Taki knockoff, I don't like either. So anyways, but these are not like pretzels at all. Just the outside shell is pretzel-y. When they say light and crispy, it really is. It like completely collapses in your mouth when you bite it. And I'd say the actual ball is filled up, like it's 3/4 of the ball is air. So that's how airy it is and crispy it is. So this is the last of it. I can't find these anymore. I looked them up. Again, it looks like they made them for like 2.5 years or something, like starting at the end of 2018, beginning of 2019. And I think it's just old supply now. It looks like the supply went up when Grocery Outlet bought them, which this would have been about 3 months ago. So these are just one of those items that you're never going to see again. And it's like, now I want to keep the bag or something. Or I'm not going to keep the bag. I just want to keep a picture of it at least, just so I can be on the lookout again. Because here's the deal: I'm not paying $20 for 3.5 ounces of this. That is ridiculous. That is, it's like reaching the level of saffron. You know, so but these are really, really good. I just wanted to talk about these real quick. Because I did not post that on my community wall. I was actually going to post a link, but then I was like, I just didn't want to post a food item on there. You know, I wanted to keep it music. It's kind of music-y right now, you know. So, and by the way, so go check out the stuff I posted this morning. The Gershwin recording that is one of my favorite rolls, by the way. So, and what's interesting about these rolls, not quite sure if it's Kicking the Clouds Away. That specific roll, I'll tell you, it has a third hand, and it's impossible to play. You know, every other roll, like pretty much it's really him playing. There's just that one roll, Kicking the Clouds Away, and that's why I've always wanted to see the sheet music. No one has transcribed it, and no one, you know, there's no sheet. I'm sure there's sheet music or whatever MIDI, but all I'm trying to say is, look, no one's playing it, and no one's playing it how the roll sounds, is because it's impossible. You know, and it's because in the middle he has this part going. And then the left hand is still going like this, and then the right hand still has stuff going like that. You know, part of it is playable, but to have a completely unbroken line, that's when Gershwin literally sat down at the roll and played it again, played a second part. That's what I'm trying to say. That there's like that really famous Gershwin piano roll CD. It's got like him smoking the cigar. You know, it's like a ubiquitous CD. Anyways, every roll on that CD is playable. It's him playing, except Kicking the Clouds Away. So that's what I wanted to say about that. That's why I posted that recording, because it's the same roll, but it's on a different piano, and it's a really nice piano. Because almost 75% of all the recordings of piano rolls that are on YouTube are terrible. I'm not saying that people are terrible or something. I'm saying what they are is they're MIDIs, and they're like MIDI renditions. They're not recorded on real pianos, and it sounds terrible. And so I can't stand listening to recordings like that. You know, it's just playing how it is. A lot of the classical stuff, you can't find recordings of the rolls. You just have these like MIDI reinterpretations, and they all just sound so fake and terrible. And then they put the most terrible reverb on it too. It's like, ideally, it's like they need to be recorded like jazz pianos, just extremely dry and zero reverb. And that's how my recordings are, and that's why they sound so different. Or, you know, it's because, again, I keep my mic less than 6 inches away from the strings. You know, what classical recording does that? Zero. So, anyways, I like it, and that's why people like the sound of Heifetz. You know, it's because when he recorded with the mic straight up, right up next to the body of his violin. And I'm just saying, the violin is just the greatest example. If you have a recording of someone, or an acoustic guitar is another great example. You have the mic right literally like inches away from the resonating hole versus even 4 feet away. You're going to lose so many nuances, and that's what I'm saying. That's why my recordings sound different. It's because you're hearing, and that's also why it sounds extremely loud too, is because also I don't normalize it, but I make all the audio for most of my recordings loud. I enhance the bass and everything, but I'm just saying that's what you're not hearing is people aren't used to hearing an absolute pianissimo go to an absolute quadruple, you know, sforzando fortissimo, you know, with the mic that close, because what the mic is actually picking up is the pressure wave, you know, and that's what you're getting, you know. Also in the bass and every classical recording, I'm just saying, that's why I don't like. I fucking hate classical recordings. I'm sorry, like, I know people are going to hate me, but the Hamlin has the worst. His recordings, they sound like they're recorded on fucking manila paper, and it has nothing to do with this playing. Because again, I've heard him live like 8 times, you know, and I was like, he sounds nothing like the recordings. You know, the same thing with Lang Lang too. A lot of people have a lot of. I don't really want to get into it. All I got to say is I heard him live a few times too. I heard him live before he did his Carnegie Hall debut when he was really young still, and I was impressed. So I'm just gonna say I've heard everybody play. I've heard Valdos, I've heard Agarich, I've heard Yuja Wang, I've heard Tibude, I've heard Adam Georgi, but I didn't even want to put him up there. And you know, I've heard Benjamin Grosvenor, I heard Ivo Polgarich, I heard Valdos when he was still fat. You know, and I heard him play all this repertoire. Same thing with Lang Lang. I heard both of them play all this repertoire that they've never recorded. You know. So, you know, her Earl Wild, I heard Alicia De La Roca when she was still alive. You know, Earl Wild when he was still alive. You know, the only few people I didn't hear, just because I didn't know, what would have been interesting is Giffre. But I didn't even play piano when Giffre died, you know, which would have been 94, and then Richter, like 92. So I'm just saying, it kind of would have been cool if I knew. I would have been pretty young, but to still say I would have heard them. You know, those are like the latest pianists, you know, that I would have been able to hear. You know, but as far as every other like living pianist that is allowed to come to the USA, I've heard them. So that's what I'm saying. I've heard everybody. You know, absolutely everybody. You know, and I've driven like 6 hours to hear people play when it's the only place they're gonna play. You know, this is an accumulation of sounds within my ear over the course of like 3 decades. You know, so that's all I wanted to say about the recordings of my recordings. You know, like you know, the one is Nyreggi Hazy. In his recordings, not only does he play loud, but they sound like that is because they're recorded the same way I record my recordings, and they talk about that. If you read his books, you know, you should really read his book because he has so many comments that I've spoken about in past live streams, but about Busoni and about Liszt and about like the length of the Liszt sonata and stuff. It's just very interesting. He has so many different facets of facts that just are not spoken about anywhere. You know, Alan Walker just had this long interview. I'm sorry, it's not really of interest to me. You know, I'll probably watch it like years from now or something, but I'm just saying he probably doesn't even mention stuff like this in there. So, and again, with the whole Czerny aspect, you know, just if that is ignored, it's ignored. You know, and that's just something I would like to hear about. Again, because I've spoken about it. About the absolute influence, and then even Sheet Music Magazine and all these magazines, there's 2 family trees of music, and it's Alberto Jonas and Czerny, and that's it. So, you know, anyways, so I do have ways to upgrade. I have so much stuff to do right now, guys, but I do have ways to increase the mics on my piano. The thing is like, I'm really disappointed, to be honest. If you guys remember, I bought that Yeti mic, and I just bought that shit because I was at Best Buy. One, it's like one of 3 mics, streaming mics, which they offer, and it was actually the second most expensive out of 3. But they had a sale on it, so I still paid over $100. But I didn't pay $130. I paid like $119 with tax, which was, so I saved like 15 bucks. But what I want to say is, you know, again, I thrift a lot of stuff, and I have a lot of stuff to show you guys. I haven't shown you the past couple days. But I thrifted the old Yeti mic, the Snowball mic. I thrifted that for $3.99, and you know, and it's ugly. It's used. It's like you could tell it's all discolored and everything. And to be honest, it's like not really that much better than the new Yeti mic I had. And then also what I want to get at is all my recordings are done on this Tascam DR05. This is like one of the oldest, most basic ass recorders ever. You know, this thing is like 20 years old. I've dropped it 1,000 times, whatever. I've recorded everything I've ever heard on that fucking recorder. Like, I'm talking concerts and my own piano. That's what I'm trying to say. That still sounds better than those Yeti mics. And I bought that shit for $20 off at Guitar Center. That's the only fucking item I've ever bought at Guitar Center, by the way. I've been to Guitar Center, but I don't buy shit from that store. Fuck that store. I fucking hate Guitar Center, guys. So anyways, but I bought that shit from Guitar Center because they had a rebate on it when I bought it. And the rebate took so fucking long, too. No joke. They said 3 to 6 months. They waited the whole fucking 6 months to have that rebate. I thought they forgot about that shit. Like, right at 6 months it came. Came in the mail. I got a check for $20. And I was like, great. 20 bucks. But hey, you know, like, it was cool. I got it for $20 off. And like I said, it's better than any other mic I've been using. You know, I've recorded everything with. I've recorded voice. I've recorded guitar. I've recorded the violin. I've recorded rock concerts. I've recorded rock concerts up close, up far. Classical concerts up close, like, and also very far. You know, in different venues, and huge venues, small venues, and it all sounds fantastic. It's like one of the best recorders ever. So I'm just saying, I'm going to upgrade it because you can see how much tape, like the back doesn't stay on anymore. I've lost the plastic things that protect the mics up here. They've broken off and everything, but I mean, this thing is solid. I'll just say I love it. It is solid. I've taped also this top part because my screen, to protect the screen, so I dropped it so much. But this thing is absolutely solid, guys. I would recommend that. And if you want a better one, I say a lot of my drummer friends, like he has the upgraded Tascam ones, and those are even better. So that's all I would say. As long as you stay in that line of the Tascams, man, you're good with recordings. And also, what I'm saying about what's cool about these is this one's a little basic. You got to use a reducer, but you can record line ins. On the ones that are bigger, that have the mics you can move around, you can like plug in a mic, and I'm telling you, it is super crisp. You can have your gains all the way up. And this thing, I mean, I like it because it has a distortion, a clipping meter too, so you can get your levels all like perfect. That's the worst. So the old Snowball Yeti, it has like zero option for any gain, okay, in clipping. You have to do all that adjustment within whatever sound card you have. And so if you have a basic ass sound card, you ain't doing shit, So, but then the newer Yeti, it does. It has an on and off and a gain. So that I'll say that function is really nice because what I like about it is I don't do the OSB streaming because the way YouTube, it doesn't push those kind of streams for some reason. Anyways, but likewise, just plain and simple, it's like I prefer how the audio sounds on my iPhone, on my old iPhone. It's like an iPhone 7 or 8 versus that new Yeti. Even though it's all like mono, I just think it sounds better. I don't know why, it does. So maybe either I'm used to it. I know it's not better, but I'm just saying it sounds better. It sounds so dry and so plastic and just fake and small. Like it just sounds like a cheap ass fucking mic is what it sounds like. I'm sorry, it sounds nothing like this because I've hooked this up also straight through my sound card and I was like, man, this sounds better. So yeah, so that's about those mics. But I'm saying I got some like real shit where like I can do 2 mics with some real like mixing and stuff. I'm gonna go turn down my heat a tad. I made a drink. I'm gonna go get my drink. So I'm gonna show you some of my thrift stuff because I got a bunch of movies, and again I paid all full price for them because I've been waiting for them to. They have one VHS section, like one shelf. It's essentially for all the electronics. They have one shelf that has all VHS. Then they got a shelf behind it, and it's got like all CDs, okay? And then above that, they got a small thing with tapes. And then on the bottom is where they have all the records, kind of like in these bins, because records are really big. And then on this other aisle, which is like 5 feet away, on the end cap, adjacent to the VHS, they have like audiobooks and video games, kind of like miscellaneous. And cassettes. They have a lot of cassette stuff there. Anyway, this time. But what I'm saying, so they finally filled up the VHS because the VHS has been like dwindling down, and that's kind of how they do it. It's like they have like a huge stock of everything, and they tell their workers. I guess the managers just like when they walk around and they mark it down. They're like, okay, housewares, we're on glass. They have like a whole aisle of housewares and glass. It's looking bare. So they go tell the workers to go fill up a cart and bring it out. And that's what I'm saying. That's what they do with all the media and VHS. They let it go all the way down to like this end, like to where it's like a third or a fourth of the items are there. It just looks empty. And then you got to wait, and then they refill it. And anyways, I've been waiting the whole week, and they finally refilled all the VHS today. So I went and bought all of them because again, this is how you got to do it. It's today's Sunday. Tomorrow's Monday. They're getting ready for the half off day. And that's what I'm saying. That's what people do. I'm telling you, I wasn't the only person in there buying everything full price. I'm telling you, that's... What time is it now? It's probably too late. Okay, it's like 10. It's way too late. But tomorrow, what I'm saying is the other thrift location, it's going to have a line like around to the back because everyone's off of work now, and it's the holiday season. And 2, like everything good is going to be taken. And anyways, that's also what I wanted to say. Kind of like during the holidays, I noticed that like even with the grocery store, with the grocery outlet, I went to there today. I mean, I show you what I bought. I bought some Parmesan goldfish, and they were $1.99 for a bag that's usually like $4.50. So I bought 2 bags for like the price of one. But But other than that, they had like nothing good. That's what I was saying, and that's the same thing with the thrifting. Coming around the holidays, a lot of places they like to say that they have deals and stuff, but the only time the real deals, I'm not saying you can't find deals, but the real deals came on Black Friday is what I'm trying to say. Every place right now, even the grocery store, like, is they're holding out is what I'm saying. And they're like, they have no stock, and everyone's trying to buy friggin' everything, and so they have full price for everything and nothing good. So what I wanted to say is, I finally just wanted to drink my coffee, which I think I'm going to make a coffee here in a second. I'm just craving an espresso. I only drink espressos, by the way. So I'm really craving an espresso. I'm probably going to make one. But what I wanted to say is, for the past like 6 or 7 months, actually essentially this whole year actually, so 11 months, I'm drinking all my espresso coffees black. The big thing about it is because, one, I thrifted this espresso machine. Like last year, I thrifted a couple espresso machines until I found one that I liked, that worked, and whatever. And I only grind my beans fresh, too. I talked about this in a previous live stream. I mean, essentially, I'm grinding a new fresh batch of beans every, like, day and a half or something like that, because they, you know. Anyway, so, it's extremely fresh and extremely strong. And essentially, no place, plus with the darkest beans that I can find, no place, like, I'm never, you know, I don't pay for coffee unless I make it, is what I'm trying to say. So what I'm trying to say is, I really wanted to drink it with condensed milk. You know, that's how Asians drink it. And that's essentially what they do at Starbucks when they say, how many pumps you want? They're just pumping condensed milk in there. Okay, anyways, they were completely, I could not find condensed milk anywhere. They, you know, because everyone's trying to bake shit right now and make sweets and stuff. They had no condensed milk, and I was so lucky, guys. I was like, you know, the baking aisle, all the condensed milk is like next to each other. They have like evaporated milk, then they got dry milk, and that's another thing I want to talk about is dry milk. That's another day. But then they got like the newer ones is coconut milk, which I'll say is probably good for baking, but it's nothing the same as condensed milk. It's completely a different consistency. So anyways, it does not work. And anyways, so I'm looking behind all these things because it's just all the empty boxes, and the workers are just so slammed with trying to restock the shelves. Like I said, the appearance of having a grocery store, like we learned this after COVID, of stocked grocery stores, really about having people do good inventory and getting inventory in on time. You know, but they realistically, it's all the stuff, like when you really see how much they're selling, they really don't sell or have that much items on the shelf or out on the floor at any one time, is what I'm trying to say. So, and that became very, very apparent after COVID, is what I'm saying. Before COVID, we didn't really worry about that too much, and now I've noticed there's a huge strain on the grocery items. So anyways, I'm searching through all this shit, man. I was just like, fuck it. And I went behind the tomatoes, which it just happened to be in this grocery store, not close but adjacent to there. And I went to the very back, and I found a great value condensed milk, and the can was like jammed up. It was like, you know, to the point where you can't use an opener. And luckily, I have multiple openers. But what I'm saying is, I have this nice opener that opens up the lids so that you can use your finger on it, won't cut it, and then you can use the lid as a cap again. So anyways, but the can was so bent that one wouldn't work up, so I just had to use like a really old one that's just like grinds into the lip to open it up. Anyway, so I got the condensed milk, you know, but I was just like thinking about it that I didn't even want to keep it in my cart just because I knew I wouldn't be able to open it up. Because now when you see I have to have a piece of Tupperware on the bottom because it's so crooked, and then I have to have another Tupperware on the top to keep it, you know, from drying out. And that's just annoying, because if I had a regular, nice, perfect can, I could just use the can. I love using the cap. This is the best can opener. By the way, I thrifted this can opener too. Okay, it's expensive. It's like a $35 can opener at Bed Bath & Beyond. I paid like $4 for it. So it's like everything in my house is either free or thrifted. It's like, and I pay $50 for my couch. You know, that piano, that Wurlitzer piano I've been rebuilding, so I got that for free. So a lot of people know I play music, okay? And when they find out I play music, they just give me stuff. So anyways, that's how I got that piano too. So the guy he was giving it away, and the word got out that oh, Eric plays music, and then so I went over there. And funny story, I want to tell you a funny story about taking that piano too. So, anyways, he gave it to me for free, which was cool because again, this isn't just like a normal Wurlitzer. It's got nice wood, and again, I don't know if you guys saw, it's a World War II Wurlitzer that was built during World War II when all piano factories stopped making pianos, and because of that, the piano has 2 serial numbers, and so that's what's so interesting about this piano, double serial numbers. So I've never seen that, and it's because they just took pianos from another. Someone had a lot of money, is what I'm trying to say. To also get that black wood with that inlay. So I'm just saying that is completely not normal, and especially in these pianos, you know. And anyway, so I got it for free. You know, my Yamaha, which I used to play, that's all splattered. By the way, so the idea with that piano, it's like really messed up right now. But as far as the paint work, is I've started on one leg. You guys could probably never tell because it's never in frame. But I wanted to make this piano a duct tape piano, and this grocery store here, they sell like this off-brand duct tape, but it comes in so many different colors, and I could like duct tape this whole piano up, and so that's what I kind of want to do with it. And I have the lower left leg green, and you know, I don't really care about it, you know, well, I don't know, whatever. I just thought it'd be an idea. So because it's either that or keeping it as it is, which I don't mind, or completely having to refinish it. And I'm just saying the duct tape is such an easy solution. It's just like I wrap it around and it is gone. And I just make sure my corners look nice and tight, you know, and from far away it'll look great. So this grand piano, this is the only one I bought. Okay, of course, I'll just say it's a nicer piece. It's not a Steinway and stuff, but it's a nicer one. So I'll just say I paid money for this one. But like again, the other piano that's in my garage, that Spin It, I got it for free. That's what I was telling all these other people, like when I'm tuning their pianos, or like, you know, it depends on the person, you know, like you really have to like feel out what they like. And I'll just say, because not everybody's, let's say most people are impressed with classical music, meaning they enjoy it, but some people just really aren't. And you have to really play some, just even if you could just play couple jazz chords or whatever, or voicings, and they're just like way more impressed with that than playing the hardest Rachmaninoff piece, okay? And so anyways, so I kind of feel it out. What I'm saying is I kind of feel it out with people's temperaments, because also it's not my piano, but if I can tell that they won't mind if I play their piano, or the piano can take it. That's actually the really big thing is it, you know, a piano that's not going to play well and react to me like that Wurlitzer right now. That's why I changed pianos, because so many things are messing up with that. And I don't know, you guys can probably even tell. It's just, it makes me want to throw a brick at it. So anyways, but you know, if the piano's really good and fine, and the hammers are nice and everything, then I'll play something really nice that's comparable to what the piano can produce. But if the piano just has poor tone and poor reaction everywhere, then it's, as dumb as this sounds, then I'll stick to jazz stuff, because that's the kind of shit that sounds nicest on those pianos. Not to say that music isn't good or doesn't require. I'm not dogging that music, but I'm just saying that's just really how it is. And when you're playing classical music and classical pieces, that's when the instrument has to be at its finest and abilities to create nuances. And in jazz music, you don't really need that. You know, it's almost like harpsichord sometimes, unless you're doing some solo stuff. But I'm just saying, even the solo player, I'll just say, very few pianists. I'll just say even the classical pianists make it into my book where I'm like, damn. Okay, I'll just say almost nobody is up there. So I'm just saying no jazz pianist is up there. And if I were to drop some names, you guys would just like really, you could unsubscribe. You'd be like, really? Be like, yeah. I'll be like, look, Chick Corea sucked at fucking classical music. Okay, Keith Jarrett fucking sucks at classical music, and you know, I can't stand putting them. You know, what the fuck? That's the dumbest shit. You know, that's all. You like Lang Lang? You want to make fun of Lang Lang? Make fun of that shit. That's fucking retarded. Okay. Oscar Peterson, I can say like he barely breaks the water with pianists. You know, and okay, Giuffre too. It's like he almost does it too, but I wouldn't put him up there. So that's what I'm trying to say. Like, and I don't want to say. Well, I'm just saying, if you watch my channel and you understand what I'm doing and you listen to what I talk about, then you'll know what what I'm looking for, why I do what I do, and why I play what I play, and why I don't really care about my sheet music videos sounding, just sounding the way they are. I like them, and that's all that fucking matters. And it's a progress of me, So, I'll just say like no classical pianist like that I named previously, one that I said I heard makes it into what I'm looking for. Okay, none. So, anyways, that's how narrow. And the only things I can say is Czerny and Liszt, Rachmaninoff, stuff like that. So those are the kind of persons, the only persons I can say that I really would aspire to, to really go after, because no one else is, in my opinion, doing anything worth listening to. So, or studying for long periods of time. Not to say that you can't learn something, but what I'm saying is it's very few artists and very few people and thinkers are fruitful, on a prodigious level, to where everything they do for their whole life, you want to follow what they're doing, because the greatest example is like the music of the Eagles, which is below my left foot. This sucker has been trying to suck the same fucking horrible fucking chords for 50 fucking years. How sad is that? Like what a statement of how small your balls are, that they never drop, that you might be a secret castrato in the background, like with male lovers and whatever, because you can't write anything better or more. That's really fucking sad. Look, I'm looking at myself convulsing like Keith Jarrett. That shit was hilarious. But that's exactly what I see, and you guys say, oh, Eric, you fucking hate Keith Jarrett and stuff. I'm like, no. Look, I mean, I got one of this super fucking rare laser disc. Yeah, here you go. I got Keith Jarrett right here on laser disc. This is like super fucking rare, guys. Standards, his trios. So, anyways, I got this for pretty cheap, so that's why I picked it up. But what I'm trying to say, I have no intention of ever listening or watching this. I already know it's just not of interest to me. So something else out there. Look, I paid full price for this too. This is a Panasonic portable tape player. Look, I paid $2 for this. This is Slimline. Just look this up. This, I got this just to have on my organ, which is behind me. This is just to look cool on my shelf. Just like with my camera like that. So, sorry if you guys can see. This is just to look cool with this, with my other, my 8mm camera or whatever this is. But yeah, so anyways, it works and everything. It's super clean too, and I'll probably mess with it like one time. I'm definitely gonna clean it too. It needs to be cleaned, so it's not as quick as it should be. But I like it. Look, it's got a little handle. That's what really impressed me. So I like it. You can be walking around with this like back in the day. See, back in the day when malls were a thing, you'd be walking around with this, or you'd be walking around with your boombox. And if you weren't using the headphone output, just to show, I love it how it's clear too. So it's to show people that I'm actively I'm actively listening to music, because you can see the tapes spinning, but you can't hear what I'm listening to. I'm just jamming because I got my headphones on, and then people want to be like, well, what are you listening to? And you unplug it, and boom, and you got your portable sound. And having that portable sound, I'm telling you, is, I still love that. So I'll show you my newer portable sound speaker. Let me see if I have it here. I gotta find it. Let me see. I just charged it up. Okay, so I'll show you. Like, well, all I'm saying, it's a nice Bluetooth speaker, and it's comparable to like those Bose, which those little Bose ones that are like the same size as this. And if you guys know, like, so not only does it have two regular speakers, it's actually got like a little mini 4-inch woofer in there, and I thought that was, I'm telling you, it makes all the difference. Doing stuff, portable, Bluetooth, and like I said, I hook that shit up to my phone, and then I hook my Pro controller up, and I'm telling you, the emulators, they just come to life. I'm telling you, because I hate wearing headphones, those earbud things. I like big earphones that go over your ears like that. Whatever, I got big ears, so, but the little things that go in your ears, yeah, you may be able to hear better, but like 5 minutes after listening to that shit, my ears just hurt and they start sweating, and I always get irritation. I don't like it too. I think the sound also, it's a little bit different. When you have headphones that are big like this, you literally you get resonance from the bigger drivers. When you have these little ones that are just like little, like the drivers are just like little micro drivers. It's like, yeah, you can hear that shit in there, but it really, in my opinion, it's like, especially with the bass and the mids, it just comes across as thin when you get a really full sound. And when you want a nice fuller sound to hear everything, that's what I'm saying. I used to have like a $150 pair of Sonys. This is one I want to buy again, and they recorded, but they were like studio headphones. You could flip one up. You know, I bought these. My sister actually bought them for me, like a long time ago. But what I'm saying, I used those headphones for like 2 decades. I wore them out, and what I'm saying is they were always comfortable, but they always sounded amazing. Is what I'm saying. I never wanted any other headphone except for those studio headphones. So that's what I like, studio headphones. And then if you guys want to hear my thing about monitors or whatever, because yeah, I'm an acoustic person, but I'm still in the studio shit. I'm in the studio. I've been in the studio a few times, whatever. I tune pianos with people in the studio, so it's an opportunity to see how that shit works. But for me, monitors. Monitors is always going to be better. Again, and it has the same logic. Unless you're like that dude that is making those weird, stupid fucking headphones on TikTok that are like all around his head. You know, monitors is what's going to give you a fuller, deeper, and more complete sound, especially when you have a woofer and a tweeter in there versus just these little dinky little things like that. And you know, that's end of story. Monitors. So yeah. So anyways, this is fucking killer right here. If you guys know, so. I don't know if you guys knew, so I was replaying Zelda right now, and I was like, man, why is this game so fucking hard? Like, I remember it being really, really hard, okay? And especially the Water Temple. I'm talking about Ocarina of Time, which I beat, okay? And what I want to say is I beat without the use of the internet and without the use of strategy guides, or any guides, anything. Just back in the day, and that's how I beat games. And if I couldn't, if I really couldn't beat a game, I really never went to strategy guides. That's just how it was. And there's the few games that I just never beat because I never went to the strategy guides. And anyways, so Ocarina of Time, I thought that Water Temple was the hardest for me. And anyway, so I'm replaying it again on the emulator, and I'm like, man, what is the deal? Like, I don't remember this game being so effing hard. And it's because I'm playing, I forget, like the new Master Quest version, okay, which I didn't know about. I just downloaded it, the ROM Master Quest, because I just thought it was like the newest version, of the newest ROM. But it's actually a completely different game, and it is so much harder. And anyway, so I'm enjoying it because I love Zelda. And anyways, what I want to talk about here is I thrifted this. I got this Zelda Twilight Princess, and if you guys know, I just got a Wii that has a GameCube, and so I was reading this Twilight Princess came out on GameCube, so it's a game I want to purchase. And I'm just telling you, like, I've looked at these games. They are literally the same price that they came out. I'm trying to get these games used on GameCube. GameCube games are so fucking expensive, guys. So you're still paying like $50, $60 for a used copy of Twilight Princess, And anyways, what I'm saying is I got this hardback collector's book, guys. This thing's going anywhere from $60 to like $100, okay? But it's the whole book, okay? Oh, what is this? This is the person who bought it. Huh, it looks like they got it for cheap. Anyways, so when they bought it, they got it for $20, okay? And I do have the map for it. Anyways, I paid $4 for it. I don't intend on selling it like all my other stuff, guys. It's for me. And so I like this because look, it's got like gold leaf pages on the edge. And it's just like I can read through the game without playing it. So I'm also going to hold out on reading this because, like I said, I want to play that on my GameCube / Wii. And so when the time comes and I really am confused, I can just go to this, because for the Master Quest, I've been doing a mixture of YouTube videos and also like forum. There's like forum strategy guides. The thing about it is not that any of the video. I'll just say the videos are the best. Sometimes the videos are the best. The thing about the videos is like, for example, just if you have like a cave or whatever you need to go into, it's like you really need a specific part of the cave, and then you have to find that part, and then and so it's like the whole level may be like an hour and a half long, but you're looking for like that 5 minutes, okay, within that whole hour and a half. You get what I'm saying? Okay, and then the next thing is with the strategy guides. While they're good, it's like they always have just still images with text, and it's just like you're always trying to understand someone's words with a very limited amount of visual material. So I found that confusing, and I've had to use a mixture of both. And it's just like, man, when I find out this stuff, I'm just like, are you fucking serious? That's what you were fucking supposed to do? So anyways, but that's the thrill of the game. And, you know, for example, because I know there's a lot of gamers like this, I'll just say I know my nephew's like this. I kind of got him. He likes Mario stuff, so that's great. I like Mario stuff too. But I played the original Mario RPG and beat it on SNES, again, without any player's guide, without the internet, because at that time, you had nothing. If anything, you just had to find another person that had Super Mario RPG, which at that time nobody did, dude. When that game came out, I had one friend that got Super Mario RPG, and I had to go to his house to watch. It was a one-player game, to watch him play it. It was still fun. I watched him play almost the whole game until I got my own copy of it. I actually rented. I was able to beat the game in a weekend, but it took me the whole weekend, man. And I didn't get to do everything, but I just did all like the main quests and everything just to beat the game. Anyway, so what I'm saying is the remake of that is literally exactly the same as the old Mario RPG. And so I was real excited to see him play it. But he completely played the game, like immediately went to YouTube. And I'm just saying that's what kids do now. Immediately, it's like they don't even want to figure out the game. They just immediately go to YouTube to see it being played. And then figure out everything. And so it's like, for example, like in the very beginning of the game, you're like supposed to go to Toad or one of the Toads to learn to play this song on this flute or some magic flute or something like that. And there's a lot of different steps you got to take to even before you can get there. But he just goes and watches the video and like I'm like, how did you already get there so fast? And he's like, oh, he has his iPad, he's just typing everything in at the same time he's playing the game with his other controller. And I was like, I guess that's how you want to play the game, but just not me. That is not the way to play a game at all. That's like doing math. I'm just saying the same way with math and stuff. So it's like doing math problems and having someone just show you the way every time. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course you need to be shown, like, especially in like physics, when they have physics questions, you need to be shown the way that questions are being asked and stuff. But it's like, still it's like once you've learned how to like answer these equations, you know, like the questions are always like a man throws a football like at 126 whatever somethings per second at this angle with a wind resistance of this much, you know, and how far is it going to go and for how long is it going to be in the air. You know, you're going to do all these dumb calculations and know essentially just to know, do I need to make this sign negative or positive? You know what I'm saying? Something like that. But that's going to completely change your answers, what I'm saying. And what I'm saying is like all these gamers are like people, they don't even want to understand that. They just want to go have a computer now with AI and tell them everything. That's how everything is. AI tell me to do this. I can't understand this. Like no one reads any books. No one goes to any like self-help books anymore because it's all AI. And you're just, the thing about AI and especially all this stuff is what I'm noticing is it's grabbing now since everything is being so censored, okay? Believe me, everything with AI is being censored. Everything you're seeing online is being censored, okay? It's being completely filtered. Like Google is nothing like it used to be. And search engines are nothing like they used to be when they first came out. When they first came out, they were legitimate search engines like DOS. And now everything is completely like spoon-fed to you and completely filtered. And that's what I'm trying to say about AI. So when you ask AI any questions, it's just going to the most top, like even if someone's paying to have their website show up on the front pages of Google, that's what it's going to take. And it's going to say, like, the first thing that shows up now on everything you search is AI's stupid thing. And then even on Meta, on Facebook, what is AI saying about this bullshit? It's like, dude, I can fucking read comments. Then you get rid of that shit. And you get rid of that shit on fucking YouTube too, or on Google. I'm so happy YouTube does not do that. You know, imagine if you went to comments on YouTube, and it just immediately summarized everybody's comments. That'll be the fucking end of YouTube. Okay. So anyways, I don't know if they even do it now, but I'm just saying it's not like Facebook is what I'm saying. I can't stand that shit. And it's like you see it like immediately type, it's like they want you to see that it's immediately. It's like, okay, I know that the computer is immediately doing the AI. Why don't you just instantly show it instead of having it type out like a stupid fucking computer from the 80s? Am I that fucking stupid? No, but fucking, that's what they think you are. And don't even get me fucking started on the fucking iPhone and everything fucking Apple. And yes, I fucking use it. I use it by necessity, okay? And I'll just say that's the way my life is and that's how I have it. But everything Apple, I fucking hate. I'm Windows and Linux, okay? And that's the way computing should be. I cannot fucking stand anything the way computers changed after Windows NT 2000. After that, everything became bullshit with the iPhone, and everything's like touching like toddlers. You've seen toddlers' toys, how everything's bigs and bubbles, and they got like a pretend iPad, but it doesn't fucking do anything. None of it. You can't even type A, B, C, D. It makes like 4 noises. That's what they want our cell phones to look like, and what our computers to look like. And I'm saying no. It needs to be complicated. We should have classes, and this whole pointing and shit. I don't know. I don't think. I think it works, but it does not have the reactive dexterity as a mouse. So that's my final opinion on that. All I'm trying to say is, you go look at anybody doing any hard computing and anything, they might be using a pen and stuff, but when it comes down to it, they're using a fucking keyboard and mouse still. So that's what computers and iPhones and everything should aim to be after. Not constantly fucking upgrading. I want to check my fucking battery status. I don't need to have to fucking go on YouTube to watch the video. Go to accessories, go to this, go to that, go to this, clicking here. And it's like, why is that like option such a fucking difficult fucking option? That's what I fucking hate about Apple. Just to delete something, it's like you gotta click 1,000 fucking clicks to delete it, then just come back out and then go back in to go to your stupid fucking deleted folder, type in your fucking password again, highlight everything again, press delete. Yes, I want to delete. And oh my god, it's like, why is that so fucking difficult? So many fucking steps. And then again with Apple, that if your operating system requires so much page files or so much memory, to work, then why don't you program that in there instead of when your data comes completely full on Apple? Look, they've never fixed this, because since iOS 7 all the way up to whatever they're on now, 26, it's the exact same fucking error every fucking time, that when you hit all the way full, you're unable to delete any photos or any videos until you turn your phone off and turn it back on. Or you have to delete your other programs and delete all the associated data with them. Fix that shit. So sorry, that shit pisses me off, but I was dealing with that. I deal with this shit every fucking day. I hate fucking Apple. And I'm not saying Android's any better. The only thing good about Apple is the security. So that's the plus about it, because Android, it's like anything you fucking click or download, it can just be a hack into your phone and you're fucked. So I'll just say that's the only big reason why I stick with the Apple. But other than that, I fucking hate everything about it. I hate fucking Apple. And all the fucking designers designing, they need to get their fucking dicks out of their fucking mouths, stop sucking each other's dicks, sniffing each other's fucking asses like fucking dogs, and write a better fucking interface. Something that's actually fucking usable and fucking ergonomic. Not like a fucking piano that has fucking keys going in a circle. That's the dumbest fucking design. Whoever fucking thought about that shit should be fucking killed. For real. That's how stupid it is. So anyways, yeah, that's a little bit of my rant, guys. But that's stuff I want to complain about. And to enhance my complaining, and my response to people, I thrifted this Shakespeare's insult books. I bought this at full price too. Also, because it was nice, they only wanted this for $2. Again, they've been wanting really really high high price for a lot of other books. Look, if the fat villain have not transformed him ape. Snarl and bite and play the dog. You are brassy bosoms and rough hearts of flint, never trained to offices of tender courtesy. That's so true. This is all about everybody I'm talking about. This dude was a fucking genius, guys. So I've read 2 Shakespeare's. One because I had to, Romeo and Juliet, and then Hamlet. And then I've read all of his sonnets. She's like a liar gone burning to hell. See, what's interesting about these two, she was as false as water. Like, this doesn't make sense now. Like, this only makes sense in his time because back then water wasn't drinking like how we drink now. You know, you wouldn't just go drink water without putting wine in it or something else in it. So it's interesting. That's why I like this shit. Oh look, everybody was completely uninterested in that shit. Well, that's why you won't be interested in my music and your shit's below my left foot, motherfucker. So these are, I'm going to talk about the movies that I just got just now. So, I watched this actually earlier today. This is fucking kick-ass, guys. And I got a capture card. This has some exclusive Stan Lee footage on here where he talks about Magneto. And what I want to talk about, man, this dude is fucking a genius, dude. Like, next to Shakespeare. If you listen to all the stuff that his characters talk about, or their words, the smarter characters, they say the most intelligent things. Like, everything they say is like a sonnet. And the same thing about Star Trek too. So, and I'm watching a lot of Star Trek. Anyways, this was really, really good. And I already took the sticker off. So I bought these. I paid $1 for all these VHS. This is like $10, guys. So I got Titan AE, okay. I think I have this movie already, but this was just an excellent copy of it, and that's why I wanted it. Okay, and you'll see another movie. I'm probably gonna watch this tonight. This Titan AE. So I got this, The Vanishing, right here. So this was a Blockbuster rental, The Vanishing. It kind of sucks because also their stickers are difficult to take off. And at this point, I keep them because it's kind of like memorabilia about the history of the tape. But what I don't like about it is, look, they put it over. They always put it somewhere on the tape. Look, I can't see through that window, or they put it over the label. Anyways, but this one is 1997. Rated R, 1997. I have not seen this movie. Okay, now I have this movie too, I believe, but I just wanted to make sure I had a copy of it with a box, because I think I don't have a box, but it's just a first scary movie. So whoever watched it didn't rewind it. There's a couple of different boxes too. If you see, there's another box of scary movie, it has a red outline. This is the original one. So I got this one. This is Return of the Pink Panther, and I got this too. One because it was just so nice. Again, these are all the videos that they just put out today, is what I'm saying, and it's just a really good copy of this movie. And from what the reviews I read, so this movie did not come in the collection of the other Pink Panthers because when they were licensing the copyrights out, the actor or something for this one had the rights to the movie. So this is the only Pink Panther movie that is not in the collection. If you're gonna buy a collection of the Pink Panthers, and also most people say this is probably one of the best one or the second best one out of the series. So I'm excited to watch that. This is the funny one. They had 2 copies of this. Box is a little messed up, but I went with the better tape and better box. The other box was a little discolored. This is Operation Dumbo Drop. This is a classic movie, guys. So this was also a blockbuster. Be Kind, Rewind. Okay. This is a Walt Disney movie, guys. PG-13. 108 minutes. Operation Dumbo Drop. Yeah, I got this one. This is just, I like these kind of movies, documentary movies. Air Power, the Nazi war machine. I bought it because it's a good amount of time. It's an hour-and-a-half documentary. It looks legit. It's in hi-fi stereo, so you know that it's gonna be a nice documentary. I like stuff like that. Here I got Silence of the Lambs. Okay. And I believe I have this movie already too, but this looks to be an original box and an original version of it. So, anyways, I'm happy to have it, and it's just really nice quality tape too. Again, the older versions they look different, and then also you can tell the printing is different. It's more white. This is like a silver. Here we go. So I'm happy about these tapes too, because these are rare. These cartoon tapes are hard to find, and then also, again, like I said, that they had that Bugs Bunny. I'm not gonna pay like full price or buy one of these when they're only 20 minutes long. So this one's cool. I like this one because these are an hour each. So this Foghorn Leghorns, funny, 58 minutes, and that's legit. That means it has 8 episodes. So that's really cool. I'll tell you what. I can't do his voice, but you know how his voice sounds. Here, I love this one. I got a Daffy Duck one now. It's an hour long too. It has 8 episodes. And Daffy Duck, of course. I love these cartoons. Someone's in the middle of watching this. So I know this is going to be great. I love Daffy Duck. Whoops. Dropped it. Then... Here's a James Bond. I got this one because it came in the hard copy box. So and again, it's a nice copy. It looks like it was an original copy, one that came out. Just hi-fi stereo. You know it is because they also say mono compatible. So this is like when they first came out. So I think I have this movie also already, but I don't have. It's like I just have only the tape. I don't have the box. So this was a 2-day rental back in the day for $250. And look, I own the movie for cheaper than that rental. So that's why I'm so into collecting VHS right now. For a big reason is I can watch this shit on demand with no commercials, guys. It's been so nice because I've always hated. I'm still trying to get used to constantly pressing fucking skip. And every fucking month and year, it feels like I press skip more and fucking more and fucking more. And recently, you can't skip and you have to watch. And I'm not even getting that shit's pissing me off. Okay, but also they don't know what I'm watching, and you got to make sure you guys turn the setting off because your TVs are spying on you guys. They don't spy on you by what channel you're watching. They go by audio recognition, and then it gets sent back. You have to go in your settings and turn that off. And how do I know that? Is because look, I hooked my VCR up and I was watching shit on my TV, and after like 10 minutes, it recognized what I was watching, and it came up with a fucking thing saying, "Would you like to watch this on demand?" I was like, man, fuck no. It's like, how do you even know I'm watching this shit? So that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm against all this stuff, and I hate streaming because you're gonna pay for that shit, you're gonna buy that shit, and then all of a sudden the company's gonna go out of business or they're gonna merge with fucking Disney, you know, and then you're gonna have to either pay more or you're gonna lose whatever you thought you bought. Anyway, so here's Urban Legend. And this is one of my favorite movies ever, guys. Urban Legend, okay? Now, I have a copy of this already, but I don't have the box. or I think I do have a box, but it's not nice like this one. So I'm real happy to have the Urban Legend box, and I have 2 copies of the tape. I think overall this is a better copy. And by the way, that's one of my favorite movies. Again, Urban Legend. I recommend this movie. It is timeless. This movie, like you put it in, and it still feels relevant, like you're watching a movie that was made now. So that's why I like it. Just a great movie. Here's a movie I have on Laserdisc as well, and I think I have it on tape too, but I don't have this original nice copy of The Abyss. This is one of my favorite movies of all time too, guys. This is like one of the best movies I've ever watched. I love this movie, guys. So I highly recommend this movie, The Abyss and Urban Legend. These out of this whole thing and original scary movie are probably, and then the X-Men are probably my favorite out of this. So those are those tapes. I got a couple more I'm going to show you. Okay, yeah, here's the last one. And I like documentaries, guys. I like history documentaries. So anyways, I got this Titanic 5-pack, and this is also out on DVD too. Each one of these is about an hour long. So I read about it. So the audio is like kind of crappy, but the footage is like unmatched. Essentially, all Titanic footage of any documentary that's ever being made is already on these tapes. So I'm real glad to have these. They charged $1 each, so they made it for $4.99. But I'm real glad to have them. I'm going to make it through because I was really wondering about this. I was like, man, I'm never going to come across this again. It's such a nice copy. It's only $5. They're wanting a new or a new used copy for like 10, and then like unopened like 17 to 20. And then it's on DVD too, but I like the VHS. So I got those Titanic documentaries. Okay, so this was in there too, and I just watched this too before I streamed. So I didn't show you, but this movie was classic too, man. And this is also one of my favorite authors, by the way. So another one of my favorite movies and books is The Time Machine. H.G. Wells, and H.G. Wells also wrote this too. So The Island of Dr. Moreau, and this says Marlon Brando and Val Kilmer, guys. I mean, this movie is so good. And it's okay. You got to watch it. It's not, if you're used to movies now, like it's you're gonna laugh at it, but you got to come across with it like that. It's like Cats or something, because that's what all the characters look like. But I love it, and again, because they use words from the book, and some of the words that the characters speak are so profound. You know, they're like sonnets. So that's what I like about these books and these authors and stuff. So let me pop it out of my VCR, just rewind it. So here's the tape. So yeah, these are all my new tapes, my newest tapes in my collection, guys. Like 5 of them are doubled. So believe that is it for my thrift for now, guys. Stay tuned, because I will be back. I just learned a new piece. I think it sounds way better on organ. I already played it on both, on organ and piano. But I want to make a sheet music video of it, and it'll be on piano. Is what I'm saying. So thank you for stopping by, guys. I will be back shortly. Like I said, I gotta get offline. Anytime I play sound, I get copyright, and then they just like delete part of my video. By the way, I wanted to tell you about the day I was cleaning my typewriter. I think it was because one of the records I was playing like an hour up the middle of the stream when I finally got the record player or the typewriter working, and I was typing a bunch of shit. None of that is on the stream. I was so mad about that because that is like the whole purpose of cleaning it. You know, it's like the before and after. I only have the before now, and you know, yeah, I could do a film now of it typing, but it's not the same. So, anyways, I have a letter that I typed on it. I was gonna post to my wall, but I didn't yet because the video's not there. And anyway, so I will be typing on that typewriter because I kind of want to keep it now because I like it. I like it way better than my Royal. In general, I like my typewriters to be really big and sturdy. And starting like after the 30s, it feels like all the typewriters, when they wanted to make them smaller, they just feel fucking flimsy. Like I can't describe it. And the best one is a Remington. Like these, I had a Remington 12 I gave away. Anyways, my nephew doesn't use it at all, but like I already know compared to all the other typewriters he has and all the other typewriters, it's like that Remington is the most solid, and it's like the most accurate, and it just feels the best. Everything else just feels like flimsy pieces of paper or flimsy pieces of metal, or like I don't know. That's just how it feels when I type on it. Like it's all wobbly. You know, nothing is like just clean up and down strokes. So anyways, this Underwood 5, which is I guess I showed you the serial number there, and I talked about it. I didn't look it up. I'm taking the trust from the sky, but it sounds right. It's from 1922, which is like at the absolute height of when they were making these typewriters. I'm just saying it is so solid. It feels almost like that Remington, like just a hair below that Remington, but it's up there. And then also the print of the letters, I like they're a little bit bigger. And what I mean by bigger, like for example, the Remington's letters are I can't describe it, or I don't know the measurement, but they're just really small. And then like all the Royals, like, and especially even like the Underwoods, as you get closer to like the 50s and 60s, it's kind of like what taste changed, but the fonts get bigger, and they get more hippie. That's all I can describe. They get more hippie. Maybe you could say they get more classy. What I'm talking about on this Underwood, it's like the letters are still like that old like 1900 style letter, but they're the way like the T is carved. It looks so nice. It's so big. And then also I like it that it has an exclamation, actual exclamation mark. You know, like on the Remington and all the Royals and stuff, you have to do that, like a period backspace with one or something like that. So I really want to keep that Underwood because I would actually use it, because that's the thing. My nephew has so many typewriters. It's like I need one to use, and that's what I'm saying. I don't like the one that I like to use was that Remington, you know. And anyways, the same with this Underwood. Now since I have this Underwood, it's like, man, I do not want to type on my Royal at all. So I'm gonna share with you guys. I told you how to drink. You know, if you guys didn't see, I just ate like 3 bags of chips. I didn't eat them all, but 3 different bags. I had a hot and spicy pork rinds, hot and spicy goldfish, and then those rounds. Here we have my Jack LaLanne inspired juicing juice, and again I drink the same shit all the time. I have my whole lime, a whole lemon, pineapple juice, pure cranberry juice again, which is pretty hard to find, and then like 1/5 apple juice, and then the rest is water. So, and again, I don't like I like shit to taste normally, not the American sweet. Okay, that's why everybody in America has obesity problems is trying to do Ozempic, because the sweetness is abnormal. Tastes great though. So I want to show you guys this too, real quick. My cat's acting like, both of them are acting like I didn't feed them, guys. Are you starving, little boy? Are you starving, kitty cat? Are you starving, no kitty cat? Oh my god, okay, hold on, kitty.